What's going on, everyone? This is Dom, and today we're getting into the ultimate camera battle between the Galaxy Note 5 and iPhone 6s Plus. And these are without a doubt packing the best camera sensors in mobile right now, but which one will take the throne as 2015's best smartphone camera? Today we're taking a look at pictures and video from both devices to find out. Over on the iPhone 6s Plus, we have a 12 megapixel sensor, dual tone flash, and optical image stabilization with the ability to shoot up to 4K video at 30 frames per second. Now with the Galaxy Note 5, we have an identical setup that was first launched with the Galaxy S6. There's a 16 megapixel sensor, LED flash, optical image stabilization, and 4K video recording up to 30 frames per second. So we're gonna break this comparison down into three categories: daylight photos, low light photos, and 4K video samples. And if you're curious about that dope skin I'm rocking on the 6s Plus or the Note 5, I got it from Dbrand, and if you want to check it out, I will leave a link below. But let's go ahead and get into some camera samples. So one thing that I'm noticing here as I'm going through these photos live with you is that the Note 5 tends to have a little bit more sharpening going on than the 6s Plus and a little bit more saturation, and I tend to prefer that look because for me, I just want to take my phone out of my pocket, take a picture, and have it ready to go. Of course, you can achieve the same saturation and sharpening with the iPhone 6s Plus, but you'll need to do it in post. And for me, it's all about having something that's ready to go right out of the box. And I gotta give it to the Note 5. Here in daylight, the Note 5 looks absolutely stunning. And I've noticed that on a lot of the 6s Plus pictures, it seems to have a warmer tint as opposed to the cooler tint on the Note 5, which I actually prefer. But let me know which one of these cameras is your favorite as far as daylight photos go. Also, keep in mind, if you want to check out any of the photos in this comparison, I will leave a link below for you, and you can get a gallery with all of them embedded there so you can look at them for yourself and check it out. But let's go ahead and take a look at low light stuff. Now, jumping into the darker situations, the Note 5 still holds on to the color pretty well. It actually looks more realistic to my eyes when compared to the 6s Plus when I was taking the photo. So they look a little more realistic in color, but when we get darker and darker, the Note 5 just completely crumbles. Here, you can barely tell what that is on the left side, and the 6s Plus just wins all around when it comes to low light camera performance. So, gotta give it to the daylight for the Note 5, but in low light, 6s Plus all the way. I can't deny it. The pictures look remarkably better on the 6s Plus when in low light situations. So as we get into video samples, I highly recommend that you set the YouTube player to the highest quality your computer can handle so you can see these in their full detail. And I gotta say, the Note 5 for me is just winning it in terms of 4K video. The color reproduction is on point. It looks exactly like it did when I was standing there, and the 6s just kind of fails in those places as far as 4K video recording goes. But let's remember, Samsung has been doing 4K video recording for a lot longer than Apple has on a smartphone, so that does make a difference in how the video is going to turn out. Again though, we have just kind of duller colors on the 6s Plus, which isn't a bad thing. It just depends on how you look at it and what you're going for in terms of shooting video. But not everybody's going to be shooting 4K video on these phones because, let's be honest, there's not even an Apple TV to play them back on. So that's just kind of how it goes. But overall, I gotta say, the Note 5 has some pretty damn phenomenal 4K video recording capabilities, and I gotta give it a win over the 6s Plus. The 6s Plus just tends to overexpose in some places. The colors aren't always accurate, and when the Note 5 hits the screen, it just pops and everything looks super crispy. That's just my take on it though. Let me know what you think about these 4K video samples in the comment section below. So I took the Note 5 and the 6s Plus and I just walked with them, as you can see here. And I gotta say, the stabilization on the 6s Plus absolutely murders the Note 5. That optical image stabilization is hard at work, and you can definitely see the difference when compared to the Note 5's footage. They're both smooth, but the 6s Plus is smoother. And you can see here with me running, the 6s Plus seems to hold on pretty well. So overall, gotta give stabilization to the 6s Plus. As far as camera software goes, I tend to prefer the simplicity of the camera app in iOS and the streamlined layout, but it definitely lacks some of the features when compared to Samsung's camera app on Android. On the Note 5, there's a much more intimidating experience for some people, but Samsung has toned things down a lot over the years, and there's even a full-on manual mode for photos that can come in pretty handy if you know what you're doing with things like ISO, shutter speed, and white balance. As far as design goes, I gotta give the win to iOS and the 6S Plus, but in terms of functionality, Samsung just has more features that I prefer to have in a camera. But let me know what you think about this camera comparison in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Thanks again for watching, everyone. This is Dom, and I'll catch you in the next video.